Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital spoilers. Sasha learns she isn't Cody's cousin, but is it too late for them? General Hospital spoilers indicate that Holly Sutton's, Emma Sam's, arrival in Sasha Corbin's, Sophia Matson, life turned everything upside down for not just Sasha, but Cody Bell, Josh Kelly as well. Sasha and Cody had been dancing around the possibility of romance for months when they finally admitted their feelings for each other. The future seemed bright, but then Holly revealed that Sasha is actually Robert Scorpio's, Tristan Rogers' daughter. Robert's younger brother Max Scorpio, John G. York, is Cody's father, making Cody and Sasha first cousins. Sasha was devastated when Holly revealed her true parentage. She even went to Robert and asked him to run a DNA test somewhere other than General Hospital. When those tests proved that Holly was telling the truth, Sasha had no choice but to tell Cody. Both Cody and Sasha made terrible mistakes in the aftermath of that revelation. Months ago, Sasha confided to Cody that Drew Quartermain, Cameron Matheson, was not only sleeping with Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watros, but also kissing the very married Willow Tate, Caitlin McMullen. But Cody got drunk at the Brown Bear and punched Drew. She also publicly shamed Drew for his actions toward both Nina and Willow, breaking Sasha's confidence in him. But what Sasha did is even worse. Sasha also went to the Brown Bear later that same night where she ran into Michael Corinthos, Chad Dahl, who also happens to be Willow's husband. Michael had just found out about the kiss between Willow and Drew. Michael and Sasha drank themselves into a stupor and checked into the Metro Court, where they had sex. Both Sasha and Cody have done things that seem to make it impossible for them to ever reunite, even if they turn out not to be cousins after all. The damage has likely been done. Are Cody and Sasha really cousins? Will Cody regret betraying Sasha's confidence? Could Cody forgive Sasha for sleeping with Michael? Anything can happen in Port Charles, so stay tuned to General Hospital, airing weekdays. In the bustling heart of Port Charles, a town that held more secrets than stars in the night sky, Sasha Gilmore found herself in a place she never imagined. The smell of antiseptic and the muted hum of hospital machinery surrounded her as she stood in the halls of General Hospital. It was a place she'd become all too familiar with over the years, a space of healing and heartbreak, hope and despair. Today, though, she was neither a patient nor a visitor for routine purposes. Today, Sasha was about to uncover a truth that could shatter the fragile semblance of stability she had managed to stitch together. The day had started innocuously enough with a text from Cody Bell asking her to meet. Cody, the reckless and rugged equestrian whose smile could disarm a firing squad, had become a constant in her life recently. They had believed for months now that they were related, cousins brought together by the labyrinthine connections that Port Charles residents always seemed to share. It was almost absurd how DNA threads wove people into intricate knots, tangling up pasts and presents in ways that were sometimes beautiful, sometimes suffocating. But something had shifted. Cody's text hadn't been filled with his usual offhand humor or playful banter. Instead, it was terse, carrying an uncharacteristic gravity. "We need to talk. Meet me at GH," it read. Sasha's chest tightened as she replayed the message while crossing the threshold into the hospital's lobby. Her heels clicked softly against the polished floors, each step pulling her closer to an unknown she wasn't sure she was prepared to face. As she approached the nurse's station, Cody was already there, leaning against the counter, eyes trained on the ground. His usually messy hair was more disheveled than usual, and a crease furrowed his brow. When he noticed her presence, his blue eyes lifted to meet hers, searching, almost apologetic. "Sasha," he said, straightening up. The way he said her name made her heart stutter. It was warm, familiar, yet edged with something bittersweet. He gestured for her to follow him down the corridor, away from the commotion and prying eyes of the hospital staff. They ended up in an empty waiting room where the sun cut sharp beams across the linoleum, highlighting the dust motes dancing in the silence between them. "What's going on, Cody?" "You're scaring me," Sasha said, folding her arms as if to shield herself from the impact of whatever was coming. Cody exhaled, rubbing the back of his neck. "I wish I didn't have to tell you like this," he started. "But we just got the results back from another round of DNA testing. Ones I pushed for because something never felt right about the first set." Sasha's pulse quickened. "And what did they say?" His gaze dropped, then rose again, resolute. "Sasha, we're not cousins. We're not related at all." A beat passed before Sasha's expression shifted from confusion to realization. Relief, confusion, and something far more complex swept through her simultaneously. The implications, the unspoken feelings that had hovered between them, threatened to spill out now that the artificial barrier of kinship was gone. "But how?" Sasha's voice cracked. "The tests before." "Tampered with," Cody said grimly. "Traced back to someone on the hospital staff who had a reason to mislead us. My guess is someone who thought they were doing us a favor or trying to protect a secret." He let out a sardonic chuckle. Port Charles never runs out of people with agendas. The room was quiet, the only sound Sasha's sharp inhale as she absorbed this revelation. She should have felt betrayed or at least disoriented, but all she felt was a slow, simmering hope. Their connection had always felt more complicated than the label of cousins allowed. Now she knew why. "So, we're not family," she said, as if testing out the words on her tongue. Cody took a step closer. "No, we're not." Which changes everything, or nothing at all, depending on how you look at it. Their eyes met, and this time the unspoken things between them were louder than ever. The tension that had been easy to ignore when boundaries were firm now roared like a flame-catching wind. But just as quickly, reality set in. Could they untangle themselves from months of pretending? Would it even be wise to try? "It's not that simple, Cody," Sasha said, half whispering. "Just because we're not related doesn't mean the complications disappear. Look at everything that's happened with Gladys, my mental health, your issues with Mac, and the law." Cody reached out, lightly brushing her arm. "I know it's not simple, but I also know what I feel. I've tried to ignore it, to tell myself it was because we were family, but that was a lie. I'm tired of lying, Sasha." The softness in his voice wrapped around her, both comforting and terrifying. Sasha wanted to lean into it, into him, and let herself believe that maybe, just maybe, something good could come from all the pain. But she was afraid of what she'd lose if this, too, fell apart. She had lost so much already. "Is it too late for us?" she asked, the words out before she could stop them. Cody shook his head, a faint, hopeful smile curving his lips. "Only if we let it be." Silence fell between them, charged with the electricity of a future they had yet to claim. Sasha felt a tear slip down her cheek, one she didn't bother to brush away. The possibility of a fresh start, of rewriting their story not as reluctant cousins, but as something more, was a choice hanging in the balance. All it took was one brave step into the unknown. For the first time in a long while, Sasha felt a glimmer of hope, fragile but undeniably real. And with Cody watching her, eyes bright with the same unspoken promises, she thought maybe, just maybe, they weren't too late after all.